We are going to be scientifically measuring, according to women, just how girly we are. Now, I'm actually a bit worried about this because I do some of these things for convenience, and I didn't really think it made me girly, but it turns out it might. Right. So,
do we need to worry about what women think?
Only if you're interested in dating them and marrying them.
As I say, the most Chad move is to... I'm going to be the judge of what's feminine or not. Thank you very much.
Well, the thing is, that may well be true, but women are also going to be the judge.
Right. No, fair point.
I maintain that women operate on two different levels. There's what they think, the bit that they can hear inside their thought cage, and that is different to what they respond to, which is deep down in the lizard brain.
I agree. And we're going to be talking about the forebrain of women today.
Okay.
The quote-unquote rational area of a woman's brain. Do you believe such a thing exists, Stelios?
Probably.
Well, that went without comment, didn't it?
The women in our audience do have a rational
Absolutely,
brain.
they do.
Oh, yeah.
Subscribers.
yes.
All our female subscribers do.
I mean, if they didn't have it, they wouldn't subscribe to us.
Exactly.
That's fair.
a good
That's
point.
fair.
But
sense.
generally speaking, I think they stand out.
Yeah,
And
no,
I mean
think,
this in the best of ways as a compliment.
Yeah, they're more beautiful than other women. They're smarter
course.
than
Yes.
other women. Their lives are more together than other women.
More wholesome.
Absolutely, they're more wholesome. They're morally superior to other women, frankly.
Of more value.
Yeah, but of more innate value, more innately desirable.
Yes.
And we all know this. So we're talking about women who are not subscribed to us, of course. And so, hello, chat. And so, the thing that inspired this is I've seen a few lists like this around, and I wanted to talk about it. And what we'll do is we'll measure ourselves by it. Right.
Okay.
So you can see this list is quite strange. Men riding bikes, men not knowing how to drive, men not knowing how to change oil or tire change. And the caption is, my friends and I were making a list of what makes men feminine. So basically this is what gives girls the ick. Right?
What's men passenger princess? I don't know what that
I
means.
think it's not being able to drive. I think it's this. I think it's that.
Yeah.
Men wearing sandals.
Men riding
shopping.
shotgun continually.
Yeah, so we're going to go through and compare ourselves to this list and honestly admit when we do or don't do these things. And I've got a spreadsheet that I'm going to give us a score on, and we will tally up the score at the end of it, and we will find out. We'll get 1 point for each thing, and we'll find out who the girliest is among us. Honestly, I already feel it's
So like highest score loses. Sort of
yeah,
thing.
the highest score loses.
Right.
Yeah, but we both have this background here.
That is true.
You
That is
just
true.
have...
I've got a knight.
You have a knight,
Yeah,
but it's
yeah,
not...
I've got Roman soldier and Donald Trump. And, you know.
The lasses are with us.
By the way, why have we still got Nigel Farage on here? He's going to have to go, isn't he?
Probably at some
Yeah,
point.
get one of the lads to swap him out for Rupert.
Yeah. But anyway, right. So, as you can see, these are very strange things. So the first one is men, passenger, princess. Now, I think that means men being the passenger in a car when the driver is driving. Right. So,
Or does it also? I took from that being like critical of the woman driver as well.
possibly, maybe. It's not entirely clear.
No, it's not clear.
But the point being is, who here doesn't have a car, Bo?
I don't own a car.
No,
I
neither
can
do I.
drive, but I don't own a car. No.
Right, so you get a 1. And
Oh, do I? Oh,
Yeah. Stelios,
Yeah.
what about you?
I'm driving.
But do you have a car?
Yeah.
And Dan,
A
I
diesel
know.
one.
I have two.
I don't care about
Damn.
who is that lass who's constantly talking about
I
that
don't
crazy lass who should have been at school.
What?
Yeah, the environment lass.
Greta Thunberg?
Yeah, don't
Yeah.
care about it.
Yeah, no, good point. And so, yeah, that makes us passenger princesses, I think. 'Cause we don't have cars. So
I can't
that's
afford one at the minute.
well. There we go, passenger princess.
Oh,
Should have thought about that before this
Loser.
woman made this list. Yeah, exactly.
Well, yeah, no,
Should
fair,
have thought
fair
about that
enough.
before she made this
No,
list.
fair enough.
And then the second one is directly connected to this. Men not pumping gas. Now, Dan, you don't do that, do you?
No, I just plug it in.
Oh dear, Dan.
I lose a
also
point
get-
for that.
Do we also get a point just by default?
Of course we.
Ah,
Stelios
a
though.
weak start.
Stelios on diesel though doesn't get a point.
Well,
Surely.
but because I plug my Tesla in, surely. Well, actually,
Oh, that is girly. That sounds feminine when you say it. Well, I just plug my Tesla in.
well,
My nails are fine.
Right, I also have a Merc. I also have a diesel Merc, and I do pump gas in that. So do I lose my point?
Nah, that doesn't count.
So if you pump gasoline, you're a pansy, but if you pump diesel, you're a Chad.
No. If you pump any kind of gas.
Okay.
Well, I do.
Yeah, but that's no excuse. You got a Tesla, you plug it in.
Fine.
Look, Ryan, you're asking for rational consistency, which we're not getting from this list, right?
Right.
So when men don't open the door, presumably for women, not for themselves, so are you gentlemen? Do you open the door for the woman?
I do. I open doors for strangers. I hold the door open at my building for strangers all the time.
That might be further on the list.
And sort of tuck very quietly when they don't say thank you.
What about
What's men asking 50-50?
We'll get to the...
Okay, sorry.
Right. Okay,
All right.
so I do...
Oh, sorry, I missed that one, actually.
Yeah.
We can go back.
Right, sorry, yeah, we'll go back to that, actually. So, yeah, men asking 50-50, that is when they're going out for a dinner.
Oh, right, yeah, I never.
Man's paying for half of the date. Do you always pay?
Yeah.
You always pay for women when you pay?
Yeah. Always.
Oh, yeah, I like my women young, pretty and poor, so... so I have to pay. It's just... Yeah.
I patriarchally prevent my wife from earning money, so I have to
do that as well.
But is she paying with your money?
Well, no, I pay with my money. All the money in our house is my money, so I have to pay for it. So I'm definitely getting a point on that.
I've never ever asked a woman on a date or any other context to go 50-50 on a check. Never.
Cringe millennial Californian thing.
Just cheap.
It's also embarrassing.
I wouldn't do it with probably a bloke if for whatever reason. I can't remember if I ever have. But if I went for a meal with one other bloke, I'd just offer to pay probably.
Yeah, if I invited someone to dinner, then I would expect I'm paying for it, right? Because I invited them. No,
right, exactly.
Especially if I'm on a date. If I invite a woman out.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Right.
So, okay, fine. Men not opening the door, so we all agree that we open the doors.
I do.
Yeah,
I do.
and I will say that the women who are really disgusted by it are feminists.
That's true.
I saw this at the uni. But the point is that I'm a bit, I don't forget. If they do this, if I open the door, I have expectations. I want them to be extra nice.
Yeah.
And if they're not,
right.
the door ain't opening.
So
again.
I do open doors, but I do it for men as well. The only, and I don't think I'm going to lose a point for this or gain a point for this, but I've stopped letting women out of junctions when I'm driving because I've noticed, right, and I'm sure I don't earn a point for this, right? But the reason is because I started clocking who lets me out of junctions. It is 100% men. Yeah. Men let people out of junctions.
But they're white men too, aren't they?
And yes.
Of a certain age, probably.
Yes, yes, right. Whereas women,
35-year-old straight white man,
clock it next time you're driving. Women never let you turn out of junctions. They never do. They're just in a drift state.
Interesting.
They drive straight ahead. So I've decided, fine, I'm not doing it for them either.
So interesting comment in the chat from Anne here. She says, "I don't let a guy pay for me unless I like him." That's interesting. And I assume that's to make sure she doesn't feel like she's indebted to him in some way. Because I imagine that there are men out there who are like, well, I paid for your dinner. Blah, blah.
There is another weird subset of that, is sometimes if women actually think they like you too much, as in your boyfriend material, they won't sleep with you on a first date.
Yeah.
Because they're kind of saving you back for something.
Yeah.
So it's always wise to go into a first date making it clear, I don't intend to see you again. So I'm not joking. I'm serious. That works.
Oh, I've not dated in years. So I don't know.
I'm leaving the state.
I remember,
Why do we tell the woman that we're not intending on seeing her again?
Because she's more likely to sleep with you.
Oh, right.
Honestly, it's a thing.
I remember going for lunch when I was at uni, second or third year at uni, going for lunch with a girl, and it wasn't a date. I didn't think it was a date.
Yeah.
I'm sure she didn't think it was a date. We'd known each other for 2 years. We just happened to go for lunch together, just us two. And when the bill came, I was like, I'll pay for this. And she was like 100% insistent that it was split.
Really?
And then in the end, where it got weird, I was like, no, just let me pay for it. It's fine. And she was like, no, I insist.
She didn't want you to think that.
Yeah, and in the end, it got so weird. I was like, what's the problem? And she was like, I don't want you to think this is a date. I was like, I didn't think it was a date. Just let me pay for it. Like, we're not dating.
But I am a man, and I have obligations here.
She definitely thought that if she let me pay for it, I might get the wrong impression.
Yeah.
To be honest, I think this is this is a legitimate thing that concern for women to have, right? They don't want to give the man the wrong impression by allowing him to fulfill like this masculine role, and therefore think more might come from it. It's a reasonable thing.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Lord Inquisitor Hector says, "I'd pay to have lunch with Bo. Bo, it was a money-making idea there. Be like Nigel Farage, get on Cameo.
Wait, I can get a free
lunch services. Yeah, you get a free lunch.
Yeah. Cool. I'll take it.
Exactly. But yeah, no. So like this, I think it's an understandable thing from it. But anyway, right. So Men not opening the door. We all open the door. Right, so moving on. Men riding bikes. Now, it's like this list is specifically designed to condemn me.
You're a bike dude,
Yeah, well, I ride my bike to work for health and fitness reasons.
Yeah, but
It's not a bad thing to do.
Well, I didn't think it was girly.
yeah, but doesn't it hurt the person who's sitting on it? The chair is uncomfortable or something.
Oh, you get used to it.
Does your bike have a basket on the front? And
No.
so it could be more girly then.
It could be more girly. It's a mountain bike. I've had it for a few years. I've
Got a crossbar.
It's got what's a crossbar?
The bar across the middle.
Oh yeah.
girls one-
Yeah, of course.
So they can step over it.
It's
without
a
having to
normal man's bike, and I just ride it quite aggressively to work because I'm trying to get here as quickly as possible.
Don't ride side saddle.
Not usually, no. Normally I'm riding normally.
I can see why some women might get the ick about that, but the reality
That's
is...
how you do it.
But I was just going to say, the reality is it's actually just good for your health, and it's actually... like, a weak person would refuse to ever ride a bike, for example.
Sure.
So
Fat and
I
healthy.
get what they mean, but I don't buy it.
Doesn't
and
make that much
anyway,
sense.
I don't ride it. Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
It's a list made by women. Of course, it doesn't make sense.
Still get a point though.
Yeah.
I know. Unfortunately,
I don't ride a bike.
I still get a goddamn point, and it's like, oh, great. So, do you ride a bike, Stelios?
I don't. I can, but I don't.
Right.
But I choose not to. So it's an issue. of
Obviously
principle.
not.
Yeah, obviously you don't.
I don't own a bicycle. Haven't for years.
Okay, so men not knowing how to drive.
I know how to drive. I constantly.
I can drive.
I'll take the point on that then. I tactically avoid learning to drive
Why?
because my wife would make me drive our kids to school.
We insist you drive everywhere.
Yeah. And so I mean I was going to learn to drive 10 years ago or whatever, but it became apparent that like it was strategically more sensible not to learn. And the thing is though, like there are cars I would like to own, and I can't own them because I can't learn to drive.
you
Just
can own them.
insist that she does the school run.
No, but the thing is, there will be days where she's like, oh, I'm not feeling well or whatever, and I will literally have no real excuse not to do it. But if I have I literally don't have a driving license, then she literally can never ask.
So what do you do when she's got the flu or something?
Get one of her aunts or uncles to do it. Yeah. But the point is, this is an excellent get out of jail card for me. But there are cars I would like to own. Like, you know.
Yeah, but you could go for vacations, for holidays. You'll drive all day.
Well,
I like that.
Well, I mean, it depends where you're going and what you're doing, right? Normally, I fly to a vacation.
It's quite a good tactic. It's like if you're ever
The only
forced,
thing
painted into the corner to cook
Yeah.
meals or make cups of tea, and you just do it really badly for a number of times until you're just not invited to do it anymore.
Not allowed.
Right.
I'm legally not allowed to take the kids to school tonight. But it is frustrating because, like I said, there are cars I'd like to own and there are things I'd like to do in a car, but like I can't. Anyway, so yeah, okay, I'll take that. And so, right, men not knowing how to oil change nor tyre change. Really, come on, let's be honest here, boys.
I can do. I know
I'm taking
how
the one
to.
on that, but
I would know how to. Oil change is nothing. That's piss. As long as you know where it is. Changing a tyre, I know how to. I don't think I've ever actually done it though.
Stelios?
Do I get a point for that?
Yeah.
Okay, so
It says not knowing how to though. I know how to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Theoretically.
Okay.
so
Yeah.
I haven't done it.
You're getting one.
So I will get a point. But I will say this one thing: if you put me to collaborate with someone, there's no chance in hell I'm gonna do it. I like having my time and working alone.
Yeah.
I'm a lone wolf. I just can't. I don't like
I'm a lone wolf.
I don't like the how do you say it? Ruled by committee.
Yeah.
We have to change a tire. I'm gonna stay there. I'm gonna change it. I don't want 10 people talking about deliberating about the best way to do it.
Which is totally fair, but the question is, can you do it?
No.
Just right.
So if I have the time and I watch videos how to change a tire or something.
Dan?
Yes, I know how to do those things and have done it many times. When I had my first car, Ford Escort, I had the Haynes Ford Escort manual. I used to take that thing basically apart and put it back together again.
Right,
So,
okay.
so yeah, oil no problem.
Or you
Right.
could get an actual car and not have tire problems.
Right. This is where I start to redeem
Well,
myself.
this is when I was like a teenager, so yeah.
So, who amongst you has a credit card, gentlemen?
I have.
I have never owned a credit card and I'm quite proud of it.
I think I've got one, but I don't use it.
Girly.
What?
I've never owned a credit card either.
Yeah, never.
Wait. I have debit card.
That's not the same thing.
You have a credit card.
No.
Are you
No,
sure?
no,
This feels like a lie.
Absolutely.
feels
I
like-
hate shopping.
Okay.
I hate
So because
shopping.
I got one in a drawer somewhere, I get a point.
Yes.
I'm like a mystic.
Right.
Hey, man, listen, right. This is women's.
My
reason.
bank just sends them to me.
Look, man, I get one for riding a bike. Okay.
Right.
I was raised by quite literally. If you don't have money, you go without.
Yeah, that's exactly my dad's philosophy. Precisely.
You're not borrowing money
Yeah.
unless it's for like a mortgage where you've got no choice or something like that. You don't. You go without.
The old English philosophy of you live within your means.
Yeah, right.
And I remember when I first went to university, like you get them sending you, like you've pre-approved for a credit card. Do you want? And I was just like, that sounds like a bad idea because I'll be a student, I'll be broke, and I'll have £1,000 I can rack up on this credit card. I'm going to really regret that. So I made the very sensible decision to not get one. And I've just never needed one. I've always just saved up for the things that I want. So I've never had one. So I'm a man.
And once or twice, when it's crossed my mind, it might be handy. You just look at the APR anyway. You're like, oh, come on, really? No. Okay,
But also, I hate owing stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
horrible. It's horrible to be in debt.
I want people to owe to me, not me to them.
I know, I agree. So bad luck on that one, Dan. So man using Apple Pay.
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, I barely know what that is. I mean, I've heard of it, but
I don't use Apple Pay either. Thankfully, we'll skip on that one. Just by the way, in the chat, ladies, if you have any thoughts on this, let me know. I want your comments on the page or your thoughts in the chat because I have no idea whether these make sense to women. Right? I assume they do because this. I mean, there's all this going around. Lots of people were talking about it. Women obviously made this list, and so I assume these things make sense to women. But as a man, like for me, the bike riding one does make sense because biking is like, it's not like you're going up hills and stuff. You're putting a lot of energy. You've got to use your entire body to push against the bike to get against gravity. You're sweating. By the end of it, you're heaving. Like, I'm just like, how is that girly?
yeah, it's not weak,
what I mean?
is it? Yeah.
Like, but anyway, I mean, what do I know?
I have a theory.
Go on.
Okay. First of all, I think that when women talk about what they like or dislike in men, they're not honest.
Wow,
They usually
Really, Stelios?
they usually address a female audience, and they care to a significant extent about how they're going to appear to other women. So I think, for instance, things like riding a bike. Maybe this last year thinks that riding bikes is particularly feminine, and she wants to appear as saying this. But if she was Louis Armstrong or something,
I think it's similar to that. I think it's they're thinking about how do men benefit me?
Yeah.
And if you turn up on a bike, you can't take her for dinner. That's
If you don't know how to change a tyre.
yeah, she might be inconvenienced on the way to that dinner.
Good point, yeah. Not opening the door, inconvenience. Not pumping the gas, inconvenience. Not asking to pay half and half, inconvenience. Good point. Yeah, that's what that is. Anyway, so Apple. But the thing is, credit card and Apple Pay though, that's not inconvenience, is it? So this is a kind of weird sort of tangent that kind of.
What exactly is Apple Pay? Is it just a
think
way
it's like-
to?
When you see
Something
people
on
in
your
shops,
phone.
they put their phone against the thing.
Is that
I think-
Apple Pay? Right,
I presume so.
right. So
That's what I thought it probably
paying
was.
for things digitally,
Yeah,
Contactless or PayPal.
contactless or PayPal, says Samson.
I feel like even though I haven't got that and I've got no intention of getting it, I don't really see how that's anything
No,
other than
I have no idea. What,
convenient. But okay.
it's just me paying for something, isn't it? It's the same principle of me using, using a credit card, but that's girly too. Thankfully I don't do either of those things. Anyway, so the next one, men living in apartments.
That's unfair.
Bad luck, Bo.
What?
Do you live in an apartment, Stelios?
I live in a flat.
Yep.
That's yeah.
What about you, Dan? Do you live in a house?
I live in a house.
Yeah, me too.
But
I'm
what
not a woman.
about if you live in
like you guys?
what if you live in New York or something?
Then you're a girl.
If it's a $10 million
probably-
condo overlooking Central Park.
You're probably paying with Apple Pay. It's kind of feminine. It's kind of feminine. This is what the ladies have decided, and it gives them the ick.
all right.
Oh, someone says, yeah, all men under 40 are unmanly then.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
How old are you?
No, that doesn't. I'm
Hey,
43.
There we go. You're all right. Stelios is the girl in the room now.
Are you under 40?
I'm 35.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. See? Right. Okay. So we're not allowed to live in apartments. Who pays rent? Chat. Do any of you pay rent, you women?
No.
You don't pay rent.
No.
Oh no, you were in a double bind here.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I'm both a landlord and pay rent.
Oh, you're getting a 1.
Oh, you're harsh.
It's harsh. She's like, you pay rent, girl.
But I receive rent.
That's true.
No, but hang on, it says men not paying rent.
Oh right, yeah, good point. No,
so I'm not
paying.
Okay, so if
right. So you're not paying for her.
if you don't contribute, yeah.
Right. Okay. So the question.
I'm confused.
Right. No. You're right. I misread it. So the question actually is: do you pay for a woman to live in a house?
All right. No. So no.
Definitely getting the one. Stelios? Does your other half contribute to the rent?
Yeah.
Oh dear.
But it says there men not paying. So if I pay a penny, I am contributing.
Well, maybe it depends on how we're going to interpret it.
I assume it means that the men are paying all the rent,
like
all the cost of housing.
If you would like to see the full version of this premium video, please head over to lotuseaters.com and subscribe to gain full access to all of our premium content.